Hey, what's up, guys? It's Exposed from Self-Taught. You're listening to 2K CourtSide with SnowBikeMike. Make sure to retweet, follow, and host his streams. It just takes a couple seconds, but the support goes a long way. And keep doing a great job, Mike.
What is going on, 2K Hoopers? It's your boy, SnowBikeMike, about to take you courtside for day one of the NBA 2K League Season 2 Tip-Off Tournament powered by AT&T, where we had two groups out of the 7 hit the virtual hardwood. So let's lace them up and take a run through all the highlights, scores, and game recaps from night one. To kick off the night, we had the Season 1 champs, Knicks Gaming, receiving rings by Baron Rings. Congratulations, guys, on your sweet piece of hardware. Make sure to show it off all day long throughout this tournament.
First thing that really comes to mind was just fighting through adversity. If you're brothers, like, you're going to go through like hardship together.
At the beginning of the year, everybody wanted to be the superstar.
It was a lot of individuals. By the end of the year, we really did become a unified unit.
After a while, we just came together as one. We stopped saying I and became we.
As long as we stay together as brothers, we're going to get the job done.
Then, we headed into action for the first of 3 season tournaments that will feature all 21 teams in the Tip-Off Tournament that features pool play with 7 groups of 3 teams competing over 4 days, April 2nd through the 5th. Teams were placed into groups at random, and each team will play 2 games in the first round. The winning team from each group and 1 wild card team will move on to an 8-team single elimination playoff taking place on Saturday, April 6th, the 5th and final day of the Tip-Off Tournament. All 21 teams will be competing for a prize pool of $120,000 and a piece of that sweet banner chain trophy. The champions and runners-up will be awarded $52,500 and $37,500 respectively. Then the teams that finish 3rd and 4th will each be awarded $15,000. Of course, tonight for night 1, we saw 2 groups hit the hardwood with Group 1 and Group 2. Group 1 consisted of Cavs Legion GC, Mavs Gaming, and Raptors Uprising GC. Group 2 saw Knicks Gaming, the former champions from Season 1, Magic Gaming, and one of our 4 newest expansion teams for Season 2, Nets GC, all collide in the studio in New York. So let's jump into all the highlights, scores, and recaps that you might have missed. For Game 1 of the Tip-Off Tournament, we saw Mavs Gaming travel to play Raptors Uprising at home. The tale of the tape heading into the game was Dimes versus Kenny, but a lot of eyes turned to the point guard battle that would be Dimes and Doza. During the first half of action, the Raptors came out looking to be in mid-season form with a 2-lock lineup that got the team going early. With the returning players playing great on both sides of the ball, the team held the Mavs to just 4 points in quarter number 1 and 18 total points in the first half, forcing 8 turnovers as well. On the offensive side of the ball, it was fast, furious, and strong as their defense led to easy buckets, finishing the half with 33 points, and Kenny finishing with 13 in the first half. At the start of the second half, the Mavs came out on a 12-0 run to get some momentum, and it started with their defense awakening as the lock finally came and slowed down Kenny and Doza. However, the Raptors knocked down a big 3 for the first basket of the second half, which kickstarted their offense once again, and they returned to dominance as they defeated the Mavs 62-41. Your intel player of the game was Doza. For game number 2, we saw the Raptors return back to the stage for their second game of their doubleheader as they traveled to the land to take on the Cavs Legion. We watched as Strainer and Larry quickly came out and showed up for the Cavs as they quickly quieted the boys from the 6. After 1 quarter of play, the Cavs put up an alarming 23-8 point lead heading into the second quarter. Throughout the remainder of the game, we watched as the Cavs contained the Raptors to an awful 21 of 40 shooting performance from the field and forced 16 turnovers, and had the Raptors commit 16 fouls, which led to the Cavs' rookie sensation, Strainer, and newly acquired player Larry both finishing with 16 points. Sick finished with 12, and God of 2K finished with 8 steals as the Cavs took this game easily, 59-47 over the Raptors. Your Intel player of the game was Larry. As we neared the end of group play for group number 1, we had a small situation on our hands. So a quick setup for you for group number 1 heading into game 3. We saw the Raptors leading the group with 10 points, Cavs Legion trailing with 6, and Mavs Gaming with 0. So, to advance, Cavs Legion had to win game number 3 to receive 5 points in pool play to move on to that bracket of 8 teams for single elimination. And, of course, the Mavs were technically out of this already, but they didn't want to return to Dallas with 2 losses to kick off the season. So, will Raptors Uprising move on? Can Cavs Legion secure a win here in game number 3 to round out group play for group 1? Let's find out right now. Game number 3, we saw the conclusion of group play for group 1 as Cavs Legion traveled down to Dallas to take on Mavs Gaming. At the start of the game, we saw a great back and forth between Dimes and Strainer, getting it done on the offensive side for their teams with some quick buckets. Then in quarter number 2, we saw Dimes tell everyone on Mavs Gaming to get onto his back as he erupted to finish out the first half with 18 points, shooting 8 of 9 from the field. He was slashing and pulling up from the mid-range like vintage Dimes. Plus, the Mavs defense answered the call by slowing down the Cavs to a poor shooting performance of 10 of 22 throughout the first half to have a lead of 32-23. During the second half of action, Mavs Gaming controlled the flow of the game and answered all the pushes that Cavs Legion tried to put forth as Pete B. Ballin, the rookie, finished with the first double-double of Season 2 and Dimes finished with 20 points. Cavs Legion unfortunately couldn't continue their strong performance from Game 1 over the Raptors as they put up an 18 of 41 shooting performance. The game finished with a score of Mavs Gaming 53 and Cavs Legion 43. Your Intel player of the game was Pete B. Ballin, finishing with a double-double. And that was the conclusion of group play for group number 1. We saw Raptors Uprising GC move forward into the round of 8 with that single elimination tournament taking place on Saturday for the tip-off tournament. Game number 4 saw the start of group play for group number 2 with a matchup titled Battle of the Boroughs. That game kicked off with the returning champions, Knicks Gaming, taking on one of the 4 newest expansion teams and the boys from across the bridge, the Brooklyn Nets GC. After the ring ceremony, these two collided in the New York studio, with both teams going back and forth in the first quarter as Nate Call, the Season 1 Finals MVP, led the boys from Brooklyn to a first quarter lead of 14-10. Then in quarter number 2, it continued to be a good back and forth battle as the Nets kept the former champs in check as the half finished out with a 28-20 lead in favor of Nets GC. As we kicked off the second half of action, we continued to see a close game to kick off Group 2 as it became all about the rookies, Wavy versus Malik, as both got into double-digit scoring totals, and Knicks continued to trail by 6 at the end of the third quarter, 41-35. After a well-fought game, Nets GC secured their first-ever franchise win in the NBA 2K League with a victory of 55-49 over the returning champs, Knicks Gaming. The Nets rookies finished with Wavy at 17 points, Chaz with 15 points, Lavish with 11. Knicks finished the game with 19 turnovers, and Malik leading the point total with 17. Your Intel player of the game was Wavy. For game number 5, we saw the debut of Magic Gaming taking on Nets GC at home. It was a slow start for both teams, but Magic Gaming was able to kickstart a little bit faster than the Nets to create a 7-point lead to end quarter number 1 at 20-13. Then in quarter number 2, Magic Gaming stressed the defense during the quarter and was able to make a sizable gap in the lead, going from 7 to 17 heading into half with a 34 to 17 point lead, holding the Nets to only 4 points during quarter number 2. Then in quarter number 3, Nate Call finally got his first bucket of the night. Wavy was shooting 0 of 5, and King Cam continued to grab boards and put in buckets as he secured a double-double through the third quarter. Then in the fourth quarter, King Cam grabbed more rebounds than the entire Nets team to help his Magic Gaming squad take a victory 50-42 over Nets GC. Rebounds and holding Wavy to 0 points was a huge success, along with a huge second quarter that created too large of a lead for Brooklyn to ever come back. Your Intel player of the game was King Cam Royalty. Our sixth game of the night and the conclusion of Group 2 play, our nightcap between Magic Gaming and Knicks Gaming, saw both teams starting off slow, feeling each other out throughout the first quarter, but the tale of the tape soon became Goofy and King Cam battling down low in the paint. Then in quarter number 2, we saw Knicks Gaming extend the lead, while Magic Gaming shot an awful 8 of 21 from the field and allowed the Knicks to head into half with a 7-point lead. But into the second half during quarter number 3, the Magic Gaming squad pulled it close and made it a 3-point deficit heading into the fourth quarter. And now the only time that mattered throughout this nightcap was the fourth quarter, when things got really exciting as we saw both teams go back and forth with moments left. Then, with 8 seconds left, UC Manny for Magic Gaming was left open in the quarter, hitting a tying bucket at 54-54 to send this game into overtime. In the overtime, we saw New York rely on Goofy down low in the paint as he completely dominated and kept his team alive. But late in this ballgame, with about 18 seconds left, the rookie Malik was fouled and sent to the line for 2 free throws to possibly force this game into a 3-point game. He makes the first one, but misses the second one, leaving the door open for Magic Gaming to possibly tie with a 2 or get a win with 16 seconds left. While we kick it to this play, you can see the pick and roll works out perfectly as King Cam gets the two-handed throwdown to tie and send us into double overtime. In our second overtime of this game, we saw Orlando and New York go back and forth, continuing to press the envelope down in the paint as Goofy puts up a big two-handed jam. And then on the flip side, the Magic getting a huge throwdown from UC Manny right there. And then it's going to come down to the final couple possessions with 17 seconds left. A great shot from the elbow extended goes in for Magic Gaming, leaving 5.7 seconds left for Knicks Gaming to get a bucket. And yes, they do. Who is it? It's Goofy to tie this game up at 70. But with 1.5 seconds left, the inbound play is perfect for Magic Gaming to secure this victory and move out of group play here for group number 2 as they go in to the round of 8 for that single elimination tournament. With that awesome double overtime finale, that now concludes day 1 of the NBA 2K League TipOff Tournament. From group number 1, we will see Raptors Uprising moving on, and from group number 2, we will see Magic Gaming on their way to that 8-team bracket single elimination tournament on Saturday to see who will be crowned Tip-Off champions. Of course, this is your boy SnowBikeMike wrapping up an awesome episode of 2K Courtside. I hope you all enjoyed the recap of day number 1. I know I had a whole lot of fun putting it together. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and of course, send me some feedback. What did you think of all the highlights? What did you think about some of the awesome matchups that we had tonight? Double overtime, Battle of the Boroughs, Cavs Legion coming out hot, stunning victories from the Mavs, and of course Raptors Uprising. So please sound off in the comment. Let me know what you guys thought down below. And of course, who are you excited to see with Group 3 and Group 4 tipping off tomorrow on twitch.tv/NBA2K League. This is your boy SnowBikeMike, thanking you for taking a run with me on the hardwood. I'll see you tomorrow for day number 2 of our recap video series here with 2K Courtside. See ya!